what's happening behind the scenes with the second version of Assetto Corsa. Whilst, they're developing, they're probably in the latter phases of development now. It's due to come out in spring 24, allegedly. But whilst they're developing and whilst they're kind of working out the structure behind this game, they're watching Rennsport and they're probably kind of like thinking, okay, well, that's working well for Rennsport. That's not working so well for Rennsport. People like this about it. People don't like this about it. I'm really wondering what influence Rennsport is having on the development of AC2, if any.
Oh, well, no, from my view of Kunos, I'd imagine it's probably not having any influence because Kunos just do whatever. they do whatever they do and nobody knows what they do, which is great because Kunos are very talented, but it's, sometimes their choices don't make any sense. But that's nice to see with Kunos. So, but yeah, I do think developers will be looking at what other stuff happens and then how you can fit into that space. But I'm not sure how much impact Rennsport will have directly on sims that are coming out within the next year or so. I think it's more. I think Rennsport has an opportunity to set a baseline of expectation. So in the same way that I think AC1 set a baseline expectation, or iRacing with the online ranking and stuff. Once you start seeing 2 or 3 simulators, for example, have ranked split multiplayer, and it becomes an expectation. I think that's where you get to a point where developers struggle harder and harder to release a game without ranked multiplayer, for example. So I think with AC2, I would hope that they'd look at LFM, they'd look at iRacing, and then if Rennsport has the ranked multiplayer system, it's going to be untenable to start with Gran Turismo as well. You can't then just release a game missing what is considered a default feature. So I think that kind of stuff will impact other developers.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it is going to be a game changer. And I think Rennsport as a concept is going to have like lasting ripple effects on the sim racing sector, like for the next decade or next 2 decades even. But let's talk about a little bit about the ESL element here. Like, what impact do you think ESL kind of joining forces with Rennsport from an esports viewership point of view is going to have on the sim racing industry over the next couple of decades?
Yeah, well, obviously with the ESL R1, there's a lot of money that's gone into the prize money. This event is obviously crazy, and to have sort of a very top tier esports event around sim racing that's going to be, we'll have you have a winter season, summer season, and potentially special events and things. So having that as a focal point for sim racing that everyone can get behind, I think it shows that there's a large financial commitment behind the sim racing esport and building that. I get the impression, obviously, with these types of things, they're going for like 5-year plus strategies. So it's not going to just disappear. But I think it's still yet to be proven. The sort of esports in sim racing is yet to be proven in terms of the absolute viewership component of it. But the way that ESL have gone about it, I think is the right way, the most likely way to make it work. I think one of the things actually I noticed from this summit that I think they've done really well, and I think it's actually a good idea, is in many ways it makes sense to focus the sim racing esports and try and target a younger audience than necessarily what you would get from a more traditional sim racing esports event. So also involving, you've got Ian Porter, Crim 6, and you've got other people that are from the other, like Call of Duty, other ESL events and other gaming spheres that are starting to come into sim racing, trying to like get their audiences involved in it and, get that crossover and really get sim racing out to more people and out of its initial bubble. Because I don't know about you, but from my experience, when you introduce people to sim racing, when you get them in a sim rig, when they actually are exposed to it, a huge number of people are really receptive to it. But the issue that sim racing has always faced, and it's a very similar issue that VR, I think, has also faced, is getting it out there in the first place. You can have something great, but if it's not being pushed out, no one can see it. So, yeah, I think the ESL thing is a great opportunity to bring in more people. To what extent that will work and to what the optimal way of doing that is, I think is still being worked out. But it's all like up in the air. This is what I love about it. It's all so up in the air. It makes it really quite exciting and shows that there's stuff happening. Will it work? Won't it work? Well, we don't know yet, but let's see how it goes. That's the thing.